think people assume it'll be quite tight, but no, it's fun, and as I said, I've been driving it for so long, it's just second nature now.
So Martin, how often do you drive the car around?
Oh, well, pretty well every day. It's my no, it's Woody. It's a friend of mine. Woody. I'm in the process of doing an interview.
You're doing really well.
How are you, Meg?
Love to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you. I haven't seen him for years.
So is that the reaction you get all the time?
Quite a lot, yes. People, no, it brings out the best in people. You know, most people they like to have a laugh, and it's a fun thing, and I always think, you know, when you're in the hospitality business, it should be fun. That's the whole point of the business. We want people to enjoy themselves. But
Yeah.
it was funny a little story. When we were going down to Gibraltar, we took it on the train, the shuttle, which goes to Calais from England. And on the trip, there was a Ferrari owners club on the same train. There were a couple of dozen Ferraris. We were getting all the crowd. The crowd was around the bottle car. People taking pictures, and nobody was looking at the Ferraris. And you can see they weren't terribly happy. But no, it's just a fun way of getting from A to B.
So you say there were 3 cars
Yes.
originally. So it's this one on
Yes.
the Isle of Man.
Yes, the original, the very first one, which was aluminium. It was an aluminium frame. The next 2, the newer ones, are fiberglass. But the very first one was aluminium that my brother Andy put together, and that one it was starting to get a bit long in the tooth. So that one's being renovated at the moment. So we're hoping that will be back in action in the not too distant future. And then the newest of all, that's the one that my brother Andy drives, and he drives that over in Lancashire, near my hometown in Blackburn. So no, and he gets the same reaction over there whenever he takes it out and about. He's promoting our beer over in England. Yeah, and it's good fun.
So you know they say, or some people believe, that there could be Bushy's beer at the back of the inside the bottle.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's true. Let's take a look.
No,
Oh no!
full of junk. Well, it's a working vehicle, so this is, you know, I can get 2 or 3 barrels in here if I am delivering beer to a pub or whatever. We can do little top ups. You wouldn't be able to do full scale deliveries, but now it's yeah, sometimes it's full of beer, and it's fine for doing small deliveries. But yeah, this is the
Oh, lovely! Wow. Talk to me about this. You know, for car enthusiasts, I'm sure they'd want to know. 35 years old.
Yes, at least actually. I think, and that was on a 10-year-old chassis, so I'm guessing it was 40. It'd be more like 40 odd years. Some of the pieces.
How many miles would you say you've done on this?
I couldn't tell you, Chanel. We've been round the clock so many times. Yeah, the clock says 62,500, but I'd say it's probably been around 3 or 4 times around the. So it's yeah, but it's a very unusual. The gear change, it's the old column gear change. So no, unless you know what you're doing, you wouldn't really know how to. It's very unusual, which is how a lot of these French vehicles are. But no, you'll probably see some people. When people haven't seen it before, they do. They always want to stop and take a picture.
See, you've got lots of stickers in the car.
Yes, that really, you can see they go back a long way.
99, 93.
I mean, the very first sticker we ever did, and I haven't got one in here. It was 1986.
1986.
Yeah, and that was the very first. But we've got one in one of the other cars. That goes back. That one's 95. This one here is 1989. 1993.
That's the year I was born.
Okay, well, that's a good year.
So, how many years after the business was formed did the vehicles come out?
Right. Well, I started brewing in 1985. So that was the first year that I started, and it was really just a big home brew kit underneath the pub, where by the clock there in Douglas. That's where the original Bushy's pub was. And I brewed there for about 5 years until we moved out to where we are now, out of Mountbury. And I'd say my brother Andy, originally, what it was, when we were kids, we used to live near outside London, and when we were kids, we had there's this, they call it the London to Brighton car rally, and I remember there was an old bottle car, which is a Bass. It was a Bass beer from the 1920s, which was on a Rolls-Royce chassis, really fancy one. And we had a photograph. We were going through some old pictures, and there was a photograph of my brother Andy and myself when we were about, I don't know, would have been about 7 or 8 years old. And I'd been brewing a couple of years, and I said, wouldn't it be fantastic if we could have a Bushy's bottle? And he said, are you serious? Because he knew that these Citroens, that you could easily take the bodywork off it, and some people. And anyway, so he had a little play, and as I said, over the next few years, he built 3 of them, and no, it was a very successful little sideline for him. Well, it was successful for us. I don't think he made much money out of it. I think it was more a labour of love. But so it was probably the first one. Probably turned up about 2 years after I'd started brewing, and it's great fun.
And this is the oldest one then?
No. The oldest one is actually being renovated. This is this is the middle one. So this one, the first one would have been about 1988. This one would have been about 1990. So this one is 34 years old.
And with some people, often you get antique collectors, and have you ever had anyone approach you and say, we'd like to buy this off you?
Well, right, I told you we'd been to Gibraltar. In 1995, we actually sent this one. Was it this one? Oh no, it might have been my brother Andy's. It actually went to America. We took it to Daytona for the motorcycle races at Daytona Beach, and the way it works is you put it on a roll-on roll-off boat, and it goes right down the east coast of America, and the last stop is Jacksonville, Florida, and that's where it got taken off, and we drove it from there down. It was a few hours drive down to Daytona Beach for the motorbikes, and it was there for a good couple of weeks, and we got a lot of offers, but we weren't legally allowed to sell it. We could have sold it many times over in the States. And a few people they've sort of said you would like to buy one or whatever, but you never know if they're serious.
Also, I'm assuming because it's a family business, it will be something that even after you can't use it, you'll still keep it in.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think I'll be driving this till I drop. I can't imagine I'd be driving anything else. It's been going too long now.
What's your favourite car?
Which car?
What's your favourite car?
This is my bottle, obviously. I wouldn't want the only other car I've got, Chanel, is, and funnily enough, it's another unusual one. It was the very first car I ever had, and it was my grandfather's Morris Minor, and that's my sort of other. If I'm not driving this, I drive the Morris Minor, and I'm not into prestige cars or anything like that. It just wouldn't do anything for me. I'd rather drive something that brings a smile to people's faces, and now it's very interesting.